Hello everyone and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, we're going to play some Jewel Reanimator. So I really like the Enigma Jewel and Collector Vault combo, and I thought let's revisit the good old Valgavoth reanimation by, tossing Valgavoth with Collector's Vault and then reanimating it with Zombify. Very straightforward deck back in the day, but now we get to slot in our lessons package. So because of Avatar, we have Gran-Gran and a bunch of lessons that we can also utilize in our discard deck, because Gran-Gran help us discard and help us reduce the casting cost of non-creature spells. And the lessons that we're going to run, Boomerang Basics, not as good without Storm Chaser's TLA, but that's fine, right? It's just a removal or just a bounce spell for a turn, but it does slot into the lessons. We also get Accumulated Wisdom, a very good card that draws us 3 if we have 3 lessons in the graveyard, which incentivize us to have a lot more lessons in the deck. We got 4 Quench to counter. And I get to put in 2 Daily Indoctrination, because now we're not Izzet, we are Dimir. And this card allows us to look at our opponent's hand and make him discard a card. Non-land permanent card, but it could be a creature. It could be a planeswalker if they have it. And yeah, instant or sorcery wise, we won't be able to discard, but we will know what they have. And then we have Ruinous Waterbending, which we get to wipe the board if they have a lot of small creatures. So this is our only board wipe in the deck, and it is a lesson. So a lot of times we can just toss it and draw cards by our looting ability, but sometimes we might need this lesson to wipe the board so that we don't die. Right, so that's kind of the whole lesson packet, and because we're doing so many discard, we can have an additional win con and Monument to Endurance. That's the idea of all of the pieces. And now let's talk about our deck list. So turn 1, of course, we want to drop one of the 4 Granny, or even better yet, one of the 2 Enigma Jewel. Now, Granny is a lot better because we get a lot of discard in the deck, but Enigma Jewel does help us with a turn 2 play if we get to do it. Turn 2, Collector's Vault. So if we drop Collector Jewel turn 1 and Collector's Vault turn 2, we can immediately crank it for a treasure, which would be very good. And it will be even better is if we can crank it for a treasure and use that treasure to cast either a Granny or a Boomerang Basic, so that our opponent will lose their tempo play. But if we don't do that, we can still crank the Collector's Vault on turn 2, discard Valgavoth, and get a treasure, so that turn 3 we'll have 4 mana for Zombify and just win the game. That's also pretty good, right? Other than this, right, this is our tempo play and, the dream. But if we don't get to do that, we can also dilate to look at our opponent's hand to know what they're doing and make him discard a card. We'll never Earthbend. The Earthbend 2 is flavor text here. We also have 4 Quench, It'll Quench Ya, that we can hold up on turn 2 as a counter spell. We have 2 Bitter Triumph. I cut the Bitter Triumph down to 2 because originally, right, we might need a lot of cards to help us discard. That's why we have Bitter Triumph in the deck. But now, in this current meta, because we have so many other discard cards, I cut down a Bitter Triumph. Granny already help us discard anyways, and we don't really need this removal as hard because we want to win. And then we have 4 Accumulate Wisdom, so that's our 2 mana draw 3, and with Granny out, it could be a 1 mana draw 3. Insane card. So that is our 2 mana package, and 3 mana. Of course, we have our Monument to Endurance and 2 Ruinous Waterbending. And on turn 3, maybe we start casting our Boomerang Basics. I don't see how often we will do that, but Boomerang Basics in this deck is not about bouncing our own stuff back. Most of the time, it's just about removing a card from our opponent's board temporarily. Meanwhile, we get our lesson package into the graveyard for both Wisdom and Granny, and then we get Valgavoth out for the ultimate combo. So 4 mana Zombify, and then 9 mana Valgavoth. Now, obviously, we're not going to cast Valgavoth. We're going to try to Zombify, but with the amount of treasure we can get off Collector's Vault and Monument to Endurance, there could be occurrences that we can just hard cast Valgavoth, because if we get to build up 4 or 5 mana, that means that Valgavoth will cost 4 or 5 mana itself. 4 or 5 treasures, I mean. Valgavoth will cost 4 or 5 mana. 4 or 5 mana Valgavoth is actually pretty insane. So that's something that we can do. And lastly, our land base. So we are a combo deck, but I'm only going to run 20 lands. I don't think I'm going to get mana screw in this deck, right? We kind of curve out to 4, but a lot of our cards that we want to cast is 1 drop and 2 drop. And Granny help us reduce. Collector's Vault help us build treasure, so we don't need that much lands. I'm going to run 3 island, 1 Godcore, 4 swamps, and then 4 Gloomlake Verge, 4 Undercity Sewer, and 4 Watery Grave. Now, the reason why I'm running 1 Uthros is because we are making a lot of treasures in this deck, and Uthros can actually add way more mana because of the, kind of the Tolarian Academy effect, right? Enigma Jewel, Collector's Vault, Monument to Endurance, and all those treasures are all artifacts. So that means that we might be able to tap Uthros and a blue to add 4 or 5 mana into our mana pool, and that could help a lot in casting more Monument, casting a Quench and Accumulate on the same turn, things like that, or hard casting a Valgavoth, right? And of course, I need to have a lot of basic lands for Gloomlake Verge, or the swamp or island for Gloomlake Verge. So I'm running 4 Undercity Sewers. I don't like Sewer as much because it's a tap land, and very often that tap land might get us against this super aggressive meta, but it does surveil, right? And the off chance that we surveil out of Valgavoth, we might be able to Zombify the turn after. So it's kind of fringe, and I would say that if you're a little bit shy on, getting tap lands out there, it could work if you just run Multiversal Passage. It could work, right? And that's all I did with the deck. Now let's go into the game and see how well we will do. Alright, our opponent is Thorn, pack leader. Lead the pack, please. Lead the pack, and our opponent goes first. I mean, alright. It is a starting time go, so we'll get our granny out. Maybe we'll get to discard some cards. Oh, allies. Allies is scary, but we can push some damage. Draw. A little bit of a quench. Yeah, I don't need another granny. Ooh, a rioter. He is gonna try to exile my Reanimator. Yeah, that's annoying. Let's get that out of the way, shall we? What would he exile? If he exiles Valgavoth, I'll be okay with it. I mean, it's not fun, right? Because he does get rid of my combo. But what he doesn't know... Ugh. Maybe I just take the Ruinous Waterbending? Definitely want to drop a less. Makes everything cost less. Now I can quench him. He quenched. Alright, now we get the Monument. We draw and we discard our Zombify. Let's get a treasure. I need treasures. Bit of life. And a Collector's Vault. That'll give me way more discards every turn. Oh, you just gonna keep exiling my graveyard? What if I just keep countering your spell? Another Zombify. That's kind of hilarious. Alright. Go Granny. Attack. Oh, you're just gonna GG. That was fun. Nice pack leader, Thorn. Alright, our opponent is Fabric Cobra. Dauntless Drafter. So, I'm going to test something here. The last queue that I had for this format... Oh, first of all, let me talk about this hand. Right? We got Gran-Gran. I mean, Gran-Gran has to survive 2 turns for this hand to be useful here. Otherwise, we got nothing. So, I'm going to mulligan here. I don't know if I want to just Undercity Sewer with Gran-Gran and hope for the best. That's kind of risky. What is their sleeve? That sleeve doesn't tell me nothing. They could be fast, in which case my hand doesn't do nothing. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna keep. I changed my mind. Anyways, I was gonna talk about this, right? My last queue took forever, and it actually didn't finish. So I got, and it ended up being a draw because the queue took so long. So what I think happened is I got dropped from the server and I had to reconnect. And my experience with that is whenever that happens, my opponent is always some insanely good both player and also get the best draw from the shuffler. They blow us out in like 1 or 2 turns. But, you know, I don't know if that's going to happen this game. So far, it's Underground Mortuary. I don't know if it's a hard counter against our Reanimator sort of strategy. It could be. Our Collector's Vault is very good as a top deck. He's going to duress us, seize all the good cards, and he sees 2 Zombify, so he's going to know that we're going to try to Zombify. And yeah, he's probably going to discard one of the Zombifies. Maybe discard a Monument. I don't know if Monument's going to be that important this game. Well, he discarded Monument, so it won't be important at all. We draw Gran-Gran, number 2. And now we got a Collector's Vault to not hit a land. Alright, well, we'll drop the Valgavoth. I'm not gonna drop Gran-Gran here for no reason. I would rather have this treasure. All Fate Scroll to get an extra mana. Okay. I'm gonna not get another land again. This seems fun. I did not get a land again. I don't know if I dropped Gran-Gran here. I think I dropped this Ruinous Waterbending. Alright, that was fun. I love not hitting my lands. That's really how the game works. I do get to Zombify Valgavoth if he doesn't do nothing. I have 3 Zombify, so maybe I just do that. At this point, you know. He might just... No. Right? I don't think I'd do that. I think it's asking for trouble. And I want to quench our opponent. It'll Quench Ya. I could Collector's Vault again, just to try to hit the land. And if I don't, I'll cry a little. No. No. We'll let our opponent do their thing, and then we'll try to draw at the end of their turn and get more treasure. They're also mana screwed. Alright, perfect. Let's share the mana screw. I don't need a Bitter Triumph. I do need that other land. Now they don't have to discard. Okay, so anyways, we'll Zombify Valgavoth. Ah, Valgavoth is out. Okay. That's nice. I don't know how they're gonna fight Valgavoth, but they're gonna know where to run the Valgavoth. Oh boy. Okay, Valgavoth is dead. That's all I can say. Well, they might have a lot of kill spells. Like I said, right, our first opponent that we came back to immediately is an opponent that has just ludicrous amount of, you know, anti-tech, or tech against us. Anti-us. Anyway, we'll quench him. Mine now. Yay. I don't know what to do now. Just attack for 9. Attack for 9 is, I think, reasonable. I can Gran-Gran? I mean, I definitely do this. Okay, get out your dragon. And I will have the Granny. Go Granny. He had nowhere to run. I assume he had something with it. He got a little bit greedy with the Blue Mine region, I think. Because I think he wants to get a land and then kill the Valgavoth. But because he couldn't get a land, he couldn't do anything, we're just going to go to our turn. I don't think I cranked the treasure here, because then it would just kill Valgavoth. Yeah. We crank the treasure now? No, let's go for the attack. Go Granny. Granny's tapped. The end are Valgavoth. Well, the end might not be able to ward him, but I can still quelch him. Yeah. My the end now. GG. Haha! We got through, right? I didn't think I was gonna get through that. Look at this deck. It's directly teched against our Reanimator combo. We got lucky though. We both got mana screw, but we got really lucky to get through that game. Alright, our opponent is flung. Oh, he's gonna flung something at us. Opponent goes first. Well, I got 2 ruinous water bending somehow. Is this gonna be useful against our opponent who goes first? I'm gonna guess no, but I'm gonna keep anyways because with our opponent going first, right? Like I don't know if there's any way for us to get out of it with our deck, but the 2 ruinous water bending can help if there's some sort of a tempo aggro. Jesus Christ. Immediately it's this. Alright, I don't know how I'm gonna survive. There's helpful Weaver. He's gonna get his double strike down very quickly here. Cops are after me. Dude, I didn't do nothing, alright? I mean, I think I just hold up a counter spell. I think. Otherwise, I just accumulate. Spellbook Vendor. Nah, you got that. And there goes my counter spell, and I'm not gonna get the wisdom. Well, that actually helps. Alright, we got rid of their board. How many more times do I have to do that, though? There's a draw 3 here if I last long enough. Oh, nothing? Nothing is great. Do we drop our monument? Let's see what our top deck is. Jewel. It's actually pretty hard to get the Jewel going. Well, let's drop the monument, get the mana on curve. I think that's probably still our best play. And if he has Shelter by Ghost, the Ruinous Water Bending might hit him. He had nothing. Well, I'm going to draw my Collector's Bolton. And make myself a treasure. Yeah, I think I still need this, right? I already played a land this turn, didn't I? Let me see if I can view the battlefield. I think I played a land this turn. No, I played a land last turn. So I could drop. I want to play the Enigma Jewel. But you know what? Always drop lands. What am I saying? I can draw a card. Yeah, right? Always drop lands. We'll be fine. And always drop lands and always draw cards with Monument before you do anything else. Unless you need the treasure to come back from like a big thing. I think that the best play should always be to draw cards. Because card advantage is what wins games. Our opponent's probably rage quit already. I don't see a creature. So... oh yeah, there it is. GG. Monument Endurance is such a good card. Alright, our opponent is... Duque. Oh boy. That's 3 accumulates. Do I keep a hand with 3 accumulates? Like, I do have a Ruinous Waterbend? No. Don't be ridiculous. This hand, on the other hand, it's looking better. I don't know. I don't even know if it is looking better. I guess we'll throw away one of the monuments just because I don't have 3 mana anyways. They're tapped because this is sorcery speed. I've learned my lesson at the sorcery speed. White mana authority. Okay. I guess it's something. Do we indoctrinate him? We can look at what this deck is. Wonder Weave Aerialist is your only creature? Well, what if we get rid of that? Valgavoth. Not really getting much out of the Valgavoth, but let's monument to endurance here. I kind of want to. I can bounce my own monument. That would feel kind of bad. All right, let's style here. What do you have? Feathered flight, huh? He gets to fly very high up. I don't actually care about Seam Rip, do I? Don't know if I would. We'll drop that. I mean, okay, this is gonna feel really bad. Just to draw a card, I got a quench. But next turn. Right? It feels really bad here. But we accumulate. And now the game starts. Wonderweave Aerialist. I can't counter that. You can have that. You can also make that Feathered Flight. Shelter by Ghost. Well, I could counter that. Otherwise, it'll be Ward 4, right? That's a little bit harder to remove. It's a Ward 4. Let's get that out of the way. Okay, he's sheltered, but he didn't do anything with his shelter, so I could accumulate, but if I bounce this, no reason to bounce it right now. It doesn't do anything. That would mean that I would probably accumulate again. Let's see what we're gonna hit. Granny, how you doing? He gains the life. I have 3 Valgavoth in my hand, which is kind of hilarious. Never getting to discard this. Scavenger. Oh, I mean, he's gonna take out my granny. Feathered Flight. Is he? I mean, he definitely is gonna take out my granny. Seam Rip on the granny. Oh, there was a stick, so that's a protection spell. I don't think we Boomerang. We've got double monument, 3 Valgavoth in our hand. We just got to discard a card. Now, of course, knowing how most of the time our deck works, we'll never get to that discard. But hey, you never know. Oh, okay. So, I can bounce the Scavenger. He protects the Scavenger. And then I attack anyways. Do I kind of need this granny to live, huh? I can also bounce the Seam Rip, but then he just gets it back. I don't know about that. Return a permanent eye control. I get to draw 3 cards here by discarding a card. How relevant is that? Well, I mean, definitely discarding one of the Valgavoths. What was I thinking? Alright, so I'm going to discard a card, which will trigger 2 card draws. There is a Bitter Triumph. If I try to... He's gonna kill Granny, right? No protecting against that. But I can play another Granny. Play a land. Play another monument. What am I gonna Boomerang? I don't know what I'm gonna boomerang here. It's a little trickier than I thought. But if he does nothing... Oh, they're both coming in. I'll take this damage. I go down to 6, it's fine. We'll pay 3 life to kill this scavenger. Ah! Why did I pay 3 life? What was the point of that? I don't know. You tell me. Was not thinking at all. I was like, I'll take 3 life, right? No. We'll draw a card. We'll draw another card. We'll draw a third card. Maybe my brain will function this time. No, it won't. It will not function. So we'll bounce the Aerialist. Alright, it was not something crazy. Godcore. Yeah, that was a weird game. I was trying to discard a card, but I got tilted by drawing 4 Valgavoth and no Zombify. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, our opponent is Hyro Pum 32. We gonna go first? It's an okay hand, I say. Enter tapped. Let's see what our opponent is doing. His land also entered tapped, so that means we can Collector's Vault. And next turn we can Boomerang whatever he plays. Probably a Badger Mole, to be honest. He's gonna kill our Collectors. Oh, he's gonna ramp us. I would love to take that action. Please and thank you. Just do it again. I mean, how about 3 Collector's Vaults in a row, huh? You got another Assassin Trophy? There is a Badger Mole Cup. I mean, we didn't see that coming, right? Assassin Trophy again. Come on. Come on. That's just excessive. Is your deck just Assassin Trophy to deck? Okay, so we'll Zombify Valgavoth. We'll play Granny. And we will also... Do I even Boomerang this Badger Mole? Yeah, Boomerang the Badger Mole. Nah, GG! Haha, sucker. You and your stupid Assassin Trophy. Thanks for ramping us. Alright, our opponent is... Mishra 46. The virtuous Mishra. He's also 46 years old. Alright, well, we got a little bit of lessons with Granny. But it's going to be hard to actually leverage this. So we'll probably just toss these accumulated wisdoms. I don't know. We'll see. I might not even Granny turn 1. Depending on what our opponent does. Jacerino. I can never get a Jewel into a Collector's Vault like turn 1, turn 2 play with this deck. And yeah, it's kind of the unfortunate part about playing Magic on Arena is that your opponent will always have better hands than you, a better deck than you for whatever reason. That's totally fair. Right? That's a fair assessment. I feel like that's the case for me anyways. Second Granny? Not as good as the first. Fate Weaver. Oh, okay. This deck again. You can't stop this deck from doing its thing. What the hell do I even do here? Do I put out Granny? I don't think so. I think we'll have to accumulate for a land. Stop him from getting lands. Did not stop him from getting lands. Stop myself from getting lands. That's fun. I'll accumulate for a land. If I don't hit it, I guess we just leave. That is a land. It was not a blue land though, so it's fun to be behind every turn of the game. Wail of the Forgotten. Alright. It's a different card than I thought he'd be playing, but okay. I mean, okay, I don't know what to do, man. It's just... Look at this crap. We have lessons in the deck. We have plays in the game. But our draws are always this trash thing. Oh, he sacks it. He sacks it to search for a hero. There's Kaevaro. Kaevaro's annoying, but just gotta stop these from happening, right? Can I hit a Valgavoth? No, I cannot. Definitely accumulate first, I think. I get one turn to do this thing. Throw the monument. Attack Granny! Do I need a treasure? No, I need to draw a card. Dai Li! Dai Li is real good. Now, do I want a Dai Li here? I guess I do. Oh, well, let's get rid of that. It's gonna overlord it. But it will take him a whole turn. And it lets me build up my win con. Glacial... What is this? On a Town Greeter. Okay, it doesn't have the Bringer, right? The Bringer is the most important card to avoid. So... we'll attack here. Oh, nice. We'll create a treasure, I think. I don't need to draw right now. If you cast it, each player... Let us zombify our Valgavoth. Okay, so then we indoctrinate. We can take out the Bringer, right? The Bringer is what kills us. So if he doesn't have a Bringer, he can't kill us. Yeah, if he doesn't have a Bringer, he can't get to us. We can Kaevaro our... nothing. Our Granny. You can Kaevaro his... Glacial Godmaw, which, you know, gives a Lander token. You can Kaevaro his Overlord. I mean, I guess that's something, but I don't know if that's good enough. And if he Overlords, he'll mill 4, which goes... 4 cards goes to Valgavoth. That's gonna give us the game. If he's not too careful here. Alright, he wants to do it, we'll let him do it. Four cards goes into the graveyard. Well, into our side. 2, 3, 4. I'll get another Bringer. Thank you. Now he gets to return a card. Probably another Kaevaro, right? That's you just gonna chain that. Oh, he's gonna play Fate Weaver. Fate Weaver costs 2. Now he's just gonna go. Alright, GG. I mean, Valgavoth does eat his graveyard as soon as it's out. Alright, our opponent is I Am Adopted. Good for you. I guess good old question of can Aang beat Toph? Don't know. Find out. There's Granny. Undercity Sewer. Oh. Okay, I guess it's this deck again. Let me just draw a card first. I don't know if it matters which card I drew. But I'm going to draw a card first. Dredger's Insight. Not going to let him do that. It's a little too scary off the bat. That's a good card to drop. Valgavoth. Drop our Valgavoth. Uthros. I don't think I dropped a jewel. Do I drop the jewel? I mean, what am I doing? Boomerang lesson on sorcery speed? Come after Granny. He's gonna come after Granny. Maybe he plays his little thing. Kiora? Alright, Kiora is better than his little thing that I thought he was gonna play. I just bounce Kiora. I don't think he will play it again. Kaevaro though. Oh, and the bringer. Alright, this game is over. He'll just play a next turn and we'll lose. Actually, if he plays... No, he's just going to play Arden then. Is there a way out of this? I don't know if there is. Oh, make him have it. Or I can accumulate. Nah, I'm gonna make him have it. Honestly, like, what's the point? If they have it, they have it. If they have it, they have it. There's nothing I can do. But if they don't have it, we win. So, let's see what happens here. They have Dredgers in. Oh, thanks. Thanks for giving me those 4 cards. We have Cache Grab. They do have potential Kaevaro next turn. I think we just hit, right? I don't think I want to cash grab as much as I want to accumulate first. Alright, so this is, well, if I play this, this will be 1, 2, 10 plus 3. Huh. Can I hit them for lethal? I'm not actually sure. Oh, yes I can. Draw and discard. In for 3. Is that 2? We'll put a stop right here. Put a Collector's Vault. Now play your breeding pool, jerk. Alright, let's go to their turn. We'll draw and we'll discard. We got a counter spell anyways. Lose 3 life. Haha! Dead. Good game, Adopted, you stupid Kaevaro deck. Get out of here. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you saw all those Jewel Reanimating games, how does this deck feel? I gotta say, right, this deck did put out numbers, and this deck did something that I did not expect it to do, which is beat up the Kaevaro's deck very often. Now, obviously, we don't have any way to stop a Kaevaro other than Quench if they cast it, because we don't have any graveyard hate. Valgavoth is not a graveyard hate, right? Valgavoth is a card that only stopped them if we're able to get out early, and that kind of is already our win con, right? So we don't get to exile their graveyard, and if they put any more cards in the graveyard, it doesn't really help. So, or if it stops them from putting any more cards in the graveyard, it doesn't really help stop them from casting a Kaevaros into a Bringer. But we're able to kind of get faster than them because we have so many discard, and they're not going to see the Monument to Endurance win coming a lot of times because they're afraid of the Valgavoth win. And that's how we can win a lot of these games, because we have 2 win cons. And I think what most standard deck needs nowadays are probably 2 win cons. If you have a combo win, you better have another sort of a grindy win. And a lot of times if you get your combo win stomped on, you get your grindy win to win. And a lot of times when your grindy win does not get you there because your opponent's been stopping it or countering it, your combo win is your backup plan. So that's kind of the idea. Now, when it comes to a little bit of fixing for this deck, I would say I don't really know what else I can fix. I would definitely take out the Uthros. When I first thought about all the treasures, I thought that's what could be impactful. It was not impactful. I don't think Uthros ever got to trigger once, so we can take that out. We'd probably just put another island. Since Gloomlake Verge is default island, maybe we'll put another swamp, right? Other than that, I don't really see the land base being that much change. Undercity Sewer, it didn't really perform, but that's really a luck play, right? And I don't think there were that many games where an extra mana would have helped us that insanely much. So the Surveil probably just is just as good. And I do wish we had more lessons to throw out there, but there isn't really that many lessons. The Ruinous Waterbending didn't really help, but didn't really hurt too much. But there is no other lessons for us to be, that fawning over for this lessons deck, right? There is Secrets of Bloodbending, which is not good. We don't get a Waterbend. There is Waterbending Lesson, which is 4 mana to draw 3 cards at sorcery speed. I don't think it's that useful. And then there is no other lessons. So maybe Abandoned Attachment, but again, like I said, there's a lot of discards already in this deck. Zuko's Exile gets to exile 1 permanent, which costs too much. And in these mana fixing, we don't need because we're a 2-colored deck. So if anything, I would say Waterbending Lesson is probably the next best thing to the Ruinous Waterbending, because it not only draws cards, it does force a discard, and that's what this deck wants. It wants to discard cards. So it could be something to consider, but it costs too much, right? 4 mana costs too much. So that's really all there is. I do like this deck. It's very luck-based because you want to turn 1 Jewel to turn 2 Collector Vault every game, but you don't guarantee that in really any game. So it is luck-based in that fashion. Bitter Triumph obviously is a good card, but only when you get to discard Valgavoth. Daili is a good card only when you hit an opponent that does have things for you to discard. And we do have a lot of lessons in this package that is helpful, but again, I would not say this is the top of the top tier, but for a lottery roll on a Jewel Reanimating, I do think this is a very fun deck to play, and it's something that as I start playing, I don't want to stop playing. So that always bodes well for a deck. And that's really all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.